Hello student, our today's topic is percentage theory. We will discuss about concept of the percentage. Now we will see the indexes what we discuss in today's class. First one is definition. We will discuss definition, percentage fraction conversion chart, calculate percentage values, percentage increase and decrease, some important conclusions, some tricks to fast calculation, and then we move to summary in today's class. Now there is a disclaimer. The images used in our slide deck are for educational purpose only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creator and owner of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concern or issues, please contact us at sathee@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. Now let's start the percentage theory. First, we will see the definition of the percentage. The term percentage is derived from the Latin word percentum. What it means? It means out of every 100. The symbol of the percentage is this. It is represented by this symbol. For example, 20%. What it means by 20%? 20 out of 100. Each ratio can be expressed as a percentage. How can we represent it? For example, 1 by 5 can be expressed as a percentage by multiplying 100. So, if we multiplying 1 by 5 into 100, we get the percentage value which is 20%. A given percentage value can be converted corresponding fraction by dividing by 100. For example, when we take 65%, it means 65 out of 100. So, we can write it 65 upon 100 which is 13 by 20 in fraction form. Now move to next one. Now we are going to change the fraction into percentage value. Okay. Now 1 by 2, we know that when we multiplying 100 in any fraction value, we get the percentage value. So when we multiply 100 in 1 by 2, we get 50%. So again, when you multiply 1 by 2 by 2, so it will become 100% because when you multiply 100 in 2 by 2, it will get 100. In that way, 3 by 2 become 150%, 1 by 3 multiplied by 100 become 33 and 1 by 3%, 2 by 3 become 66, 2 by 3%, 3 by 3 again become 100% and so on. 1 by 4 you get 25%, 2 by 4 you get 50%, 3 by 4 you again get 75% and 5 by 4 you can write it 1 plus 1 by 4. So that's why it becomes 5 by 4. And 1 is 100% and 1 by 4 is 25%. So it will become 125%. Okay. Next one. So that's why when we convert 7 by 4, we multiply by 100, we get 175%. 9 by 4 multiply by 100, we get 225%. 1 by 5 multiply by 100, we get 20%. 2 by 5, we get 40%. 3 by 5, we get 60%. 6 by 5, again we get 120%. In that way, 1 by 6, when we multiply by 100, 16, 2 by 3%. And 2 by 6, when we convert, it will become 1 by 3, which is 33 and 1 by 3%. Now, 3 by 6 convert 1 by 2, so we get 50% and so on. We get 5 by 6, it means 250 by 3%, which is 83 1 by 3%. Okay. Next one. 1 by 7, 14 2 by 7%. 2 by 7, which is double, so it will become 28 4 by 7%. So that's why 3 by 7 will become 42 6 by 7. And in that way, 4 by 7 will be 57 1 by 7. 1 by 8, when we multiply by 100, we get 12.5%. When we calculate 3 by 8, we can multiply by 3 this percentage value, or we can solve it, we get 37 and 1 by 2%. In that way, 5 by 8, 7 by 8, 62.5%, 87.5%. In that way, 1 by 9, we get 11 1 by 9%, 2 by 9, 22, 2 by 9%. In 4 by 9, it will be 44, 5 by 4 by 9%. Okay. Now we will see 1 by 10 will be 10%. So when we take 2 by 10, it will be 20% because 2 and 10 will be simplified and it will become 1 by 5, which is 20%. In that way, 3 by 10 will be 30%, 5 by 10 equals to 50%, 1 by 11, 9 and 1 by 11%. So when you get 2 by 11, so multiplying by 2, we get 18, 2 by 11%, 3 by 11, 27, 3 by 11%, 5 by 11, 45, 5 by 11%, and so on, you get it. Okay. Now, 1 by 12. 1 by 12 is 8 and 1 by 3%. When we multiply it by 100, we get the value 8 and 1 by 3%. So if we calculate 3 by 12, we get 25%. 5 by 12, we get 43, 2 by 3%. 7 by 12, 58, 1 by 3%. 1 by 13, 7 and 9 by 13%. 2 by 13, 15, 5 by 13%. And 38, 6 by 13% will be 5 by 13. Okay. Now we derived some other values by the basic fraction values. If we get the value 1 by 3 as a 33.33%, then we can easily calculate 2 by 3, 4 by 3, any value we can easily calculate it. We just multiplied the value by the number. So when we need to calculate 2 by 3, we just multiplied by 2 in 33.33% and we get the value 66.66%. In that way, when we get the value 4 by 3, so we multiplied 33.33% by 4 and we get the value 133.33%. In the same way, 1 by 6 is equals to 16.66%. So when we want to calculate 2 by 3, 2 by 6, so we get the 33.33%. 3 by 6, when we simplified, you get 1 by 2, which is 50%. 4 by 6, also again converted in 2 by 3, which is 66.66%. Okay. Now, in that way, 5 by 6, we can write it 1 minus 1 by 6, which is 100% minus 16 2 by 3%, which is, when we convert it, we get 83.33%, or we can write it 83 1 by 3%. In the same way, when we calculate 7 by 6, which is 1 plus 1 by 6, so it will be converted into 116.66%. Next, 1 by 7, which is 14 2 by 7%, or we can write it 14.28%. So when we calculate 2 by 7, it will become 28.56%. 3 by 7, 42.84%. 4 by 7, it will be 57.14%. Okay. Now, we will see some questions, examples. How to convert 11 by 8 into percentage. Okay. Now, 11 by 8 is an improper fraction. First, to write it in mixed fraction, what we will do? We will make it in a mixed fraction. So, when you divide 11 by 8, so one time will be, we get 1 plus 3 by 8. 3 by 8 is 37.5%. So, 1 is also equals to 100%. And 3 by 8 equals to 37.5%. So total percentage will become 137.5%. Okay. Now we will see some formulas. Formula to calculate percentage value. X% of Y. How can we write it? We can write it X upon 100 multiplied by Y. From the above formula, we have to follow the result. Y% of X equals to X% of Y. We can say that. Whenever we have two numbers A and B, one number can be expressed as a percentage of other as follows. For example, we can see that X as a percentage of Y. How can we represent it? X upon Y multiplied by 100. Y as a percentage of X, then Y upon X multiplied by 100. We get the result. For example, there are 300 students in a class. Out of them, 90 are girls. Find the percentage of girls in the class. Then in this question, it is given that the total number of students in the class is 300 and the girls in the class is 90. So when we need to calculate the percentage of girls, so we can do number of girls upon total number of the student multiplied by 100. So 90 upon 300 multiplied by 100, we get 30%. So 30% of the students are girls in the class. Now, some other formulas. Percentage increase. If the percentage has been increases, increase in the quantity upon original quantity multiplied by 100. Then we get the increased percentage. In the same way, decrease percentage. Decrease in the quantity upon original quantity multiplied by 100. For example, if the net profit of a company grew up from 50 crore in 2003 to 75 crore in 2004, then the percentage increase in net profit from 2003 to 2004 is calculated as follows. How we can calculate? Increase in net profit. First we calculate increase in net profit, which is 75 minus 50, we get 25 crore. Now, this increase on which is 50 crore. 25 crore is increased, which is this value is increased on 50 crore. So the percentage increment increase in profit from 2003 to 2004 upon net profit in 2003 multiplied by 100. So 25 upon 50 multiplied by 100, we get the value 50%. Some other important notes. When a quantity increases or decreases by some percent, the new value of the quantity can directly calculated as follows. How we can calculate it? If the original quantity is 120 and it is increased by 25%, then the new quantity is, we can write it 1.25 multiplied by 120 and we get the value which is 150. How we can write it? Here 1.25 we can write in the form of 1 plus 0.25, where 2.25 is the equivalent of the 25%. That's why we write it. Similarly, if there is a decrease by 25% on 120, then new quantity is similarly 0.75 multiplied by 120, we get the decreased value which is 90. Here, from where we get 0.75? 1 minus 0.25, where 0.25 is the equivalent of the 25%. Next example, a person's salary has increased from 7,200 to 8,100. What is the percentage increase in salary? So, we can subtract it. We know that the increase in salary is 900 and before the increment, the salary was 7,200. So, percentage increase value and the base value and multiplied by the 100. We get the percentage increment. When you solve it, 00 cancel out. 9 8s are 72. And when you divide 100 by 8, we get 12.5%. Okay. Some other important conclusions. If x is a% more than y, then y is a upon 100 plus a multiplied by 100% less than x. Second one is, if x is a% less than y, then y is a upon 100 minus a multiplied by 100% more than x. For example, if in an examination the mark secured by Prerna are 20% less than that of Vinita, then marks secured by Vinita are how much percent more than Prerna's mark? Now, A is 20%. According to the above formula, which formula? First and second, in these two formulas, there is required percentage A upon 100 minus A multiplied by 100, we get the percentage value. So, in this question, A is 20. So, 20 upon 100 minus 20, which is 80, multiply by 100, we get the 25% the value. Okay. Next one. If a number is first increased by a% and then decreased by a%, then the net effect is always decrease, which is very important, equals to a% of a, which is a square upon 100. This will be always decreases. The salary of a worker is first increased by 5%, then decreased by 5%. What is the percentage change in salary? Now, here a is 5. There will be a net decrease. We know that when the same percentage increase and same percentage after that decreases, then there will be always be decrease in the net result. So percentage decrease will be a upon 100, which is 5 square upon 100, which is converted into 0.25%. Okay. Next one. If a quantity is first changed, increase or decrease, anything happen by a% and then changed, increase or decrease by b%, then what will be the net change? Net change could be plus minus a, plus minus b, plus minus a into plus minus b upon 100%. Net change is an increase or a decrease according to the positive or negative sign. These signs are shows us just decreasing and increasing in the final result. For example, the price of an article is first increased by 20% and then decreased by 25% due to reduction in sales. Find the net percentage change in the final price of the article. So, A is 20%, B is 25%. Required percentage change, A is increased, B is decreased, so we will take minus and we use it 20 into minus 25 upon 100. When you solve it, you get minus 10%. What it means minus? Minus sign just represent the decreasing value. So there is a net decrease of 10% in the final price of the article as the final result is negative. Okay. If the price of a commodity increase or decrease by a% and then decrease or increase in consumption so as not to increase or decrease, the expenditure is equals to a upon 100 plus minus a into 100. Okay. Next one, if the population of a town is P and it is increases or decreases at the rate of r% per annum, then population after n year is P is the present population 1 plus minus if rate of interest is rate increase, then we take plus, if rate decrease, then we take minus r upon 100 and to the power n represent the number of years. Okay. In the second case, populations n year ago, if the question is asked about the what is the population n year ago, then we use p upon 1 plus minus r upon 100 to the power n. And it shows that plus sign for increment, minus sign for decrement. Okay. Now, some tricks for the fast calculation. Now we can see that splitting the percentage into parts. For example, find the value of 51% of 128. So one way we can calculate it 51 multiplied by 128 upon 100. Or in the smart way, we can do it 51% of 128 is equals to 50% plus 1% of 128. We can say that. So 50% of 128 and 1% of 128, which is 64 plus 1.28%, which is converted into 65.28%. Interchanging the percentage value and the number. Now, find the 39% of 12.5%. How can we solve it? 39% of 12.5. So we can change it. 12.5% of 39. We already discussed this formula. So 12.5% we can write it 1 by 8 into 39, which is 4.875. Now, there is summary. we will discuss all the formulas, all the concept of the percentage. Now we summarize the percentage concepts. First thing, percentage definition. A percentage is always expressing a number as a fraction of 100. It is denoted using symbol of percentage. For example, 45% means 45 out of 100. Converting fraction to percentage. Divide the numerator, top number, by the denominator, bottom number. Multiply the result by 100. Add the percentage symbol. Then we convert the fraction into percentage. Now, 3 by 4. When we want to convert 3 by 4 in percentage, what we will do? 3 divided by 4, we get 0.75. Then we multiply by 100, we get 75%. In the same way, converting percentages to fraction. Write the percentage as a fraction with 100 as the denominator. Simplifying if necessary. For example, to convert 20% as a fraction, so we can write it 20 upon 100 and we get 1 by 5. When we simplify it, 20 5s are 100. Now, calculate percentage value. To calculate percentage value of a number, convert the percentage to the decimal of the by dividing by 100. Multiplying the decimal by the number. When we get the decimal value, we multiplying the number, we get the percentage value. So, find 30% of 200. When we convert 30% in decimal, it will become 0.30. And when we get the value, we will multiply 0.30 to 200 and we get the exact value which we want, which is 60. Percentage increase and decrease. Percentage increase. Find the difference between new value and the original value. Divide the difference by the original value. Multiply by 100 to convert the percentage. For example, original value is 50, new value is 70. What is the difference? 70 minus 50, we get 20. And in this example, we calculate the increasing value. So, percentage increase, the difference which is 20, base value of our original value is 50, multiply by 100, which is 40%. Now, when we calculate percentage decrease, in the same way, find the difference between the original value and the new value. Divide the difference by the original value, multiply by 100 to convert a percentage. For example, original value is 80, new value is 60, difference will be 20, percentage decrease will be 20 upon 80 because our original value is 80. So 20 upon 80 multiplied by 100, we get the percentage value which is 25. Thank you. Our today's class has been completed.